DC Multiverse!
Well, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad, the DC Universe Geek, and today we are going to be reviewing the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Hawkgirl action figure. Oh, would you look at that? It comes in that basic black, white, and blue action figure packaging with the window in the front like we're used to seeing, with the name of the figure and where she comes from on the side, and a fantastic piece of artwork on the back. And now that she's all out of the package, we can see everything that we got on the inside, her nth metal mace, the extra interchangeable hands that she comes with, and the trading card with an inaccurate picture of the Hawkgirl that we're looking at today. Having Hawkgirl up here on the spinny spin, I can tell you that I really think that this is the 06-07 post-Crisis on Infinite Earths version of Kendra. Based on the design of her suit, she has the wrist gauntlets, she has the pouch belt, the design of her helmet. Yeah, I'm going with 06-07 version of Hawkgirl here. Having a look at the figure side by side with Wonder Woman, we can tell that that is the likeliest candidate for where a lot of these body parts come from. And having her here next to my custom Carter Hall Hawkman, on account of the fact that McFarlane still has yet to release even anything resembling a current continuity-ish style looking Hawkman, you can see that she's actually quite tall. She's a biggie. She makes him look shorter than she probably should. She's probably definitely taller than she should be. All things aside though, these two do look pretty good together, and it is nice to have a Hawkman and a Hawkgirl, especially since Hawkgirl is a character that a lot of us have been eagerly awaiting. Very top heavy, as you can see. Let's see, yep, falls down. If I try to get Hawkgirl to stand without her action figure stand, she either wants to fall forward or, let's see, I mean, I'm really trying, for honest to goodness, I'm really trying to get her to stand up. And it is very, very challenging to get this figure to stand. There, I did it. And that's because, for one, she's really back heavy because we have these fantastic wings. And I'm super stoked that we got wings that can open up and close with Hawkgirl. That is awesome. Having those wings that are just static one-piece wings never really did it for me. This is really where it's at as far as I'm concerned. And then the other thing is the ankles. You'll note that the ankles, although they ratchet in what I would consider to be a reasonable place, the other ankle here is really loose. So that means the figure very easily wants to fall forward or fall backwards. All right, let's see if I can get her to stand in an action pose. Yeah, that's not too bad. I have to use the stand. There's no way she's gonna balance. Up close though, a very cool looking figure. Here is a better look at her utility belt. You got the hawk symbol on the front. You've got all these pouches and the leather around the side. Just gonna move her wings up so that we can turn this around and get a look at the back of the belt. Yep, more leather texture. We have her wrist guards right here, and they've done a great job on those wrist guards. They look fantastic as well. I like those. They've got the comic accurate armbands on each one of her biceps, which is fantastic. And they have the comic accurate top that she is wearing at that point in Hawkgirl's history with the green, and you have the lines going across and the yellow in the middle. That's fantastic. And as far as her head sculpt goes, it's actually an accurate head sculpt to what she looked like back in the day. That is what her helmet looked like. Very classic, very cool looking. Now, some things that are kind of strange about this figure. For one, you have these shoulder pieces, and I mean, these sockets look odd, right? I mean, I'm not the only one here who thinks that. There's got to be other people who are looking at this like, wow, they pop right out, which means either that the pegs that are used to attach the arms to the body are too long, or I'm not really sure what the heck is going on. As far as her wings go, we can see how they're attached. We have the rounded ball here that is attached into her back like so. The only thing is, now we can't move the wings up and down and around because it doesn't actually rotate. So you won't see any of that happening when we do the articulation portion of the video. One design feature they seem to have more or less crapped the bed on a little bit is that the design on her boots here is actually supposed to look like eagle claw talons. Like, you know, more along the lines of this. And I've already gone through her really loose, kind of wonky ankle. I do like the painting deco that they've done on the wings of Kendra here. I think that looks really good with the dark and then the lighter brushing over top. That dry brushing really brings out the detail. And I really like the color of steel they've chose for the nth metal of her mace. It's almost like a gunmetal blue, which looks really nice. So at this point, I feel like it's prudent that we do the articulation for Hawkgirl. So the head sculpt for Hawkgirl is attached via a ball joint, as is always. And you'll notice that it ratchets. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. That is weird. It doesn't just turn smoothly. I'm not sure I like that. As a matter of fact, I don't like that. Oh, it's not a ratchet. You know what it is? It's all those little balls up on the end of the ball joint that are causing the head to go boop. However, she does get a reasonable range of motion with all of that thumping and bumping. That's how much she looks up. That's how much she looks down. The shoulders, we can see she's got those sockets, those weird sockets. They just, I don't know. You know my thoughts on these. They don't really work. They should have been longer perhaps or something. Anyway, you got the sockets, so you have some movement around like that. The arms go way up like that, all the way down, and get a pretty darn good range of motion. I mean, look at that T. That's a great T. She's got great T right there. And then you've got the bicep. It will do a full 360. Let's try and get it to rotate. But it is tight, and it is kind of ugly when you do that, right? It's not like can you see like the lump there? Yeah, kind of strange. But it will do a full 360 degrees. We have her double jointed elbow. We have her wrist with the hinge. Whoop, that way. Whoop, the other way. And it's on the spinny peg, of course, so, you know, it's going to do that. Then we have her chest articulation up there inside of her torso. And that's pretty good. What can she do for looking up and back and down? So that is her chest up, and that is her chest down. That's what you're looking at. Attach that with the waist and her waist articulation, and oh goodness me, she is a yoga champ. However, then you can see the unsightly insides of her figure, so not so good. And then forward, using the waist and the torso, we get about that. So not too bad. And we have her groin. And down here, we have the McFarlane style clickety ratchet groin. And she will have a certain amount of this sort of thigh cup motion. I wish it was perhaps just a little bit more, as is my usual desire. Then we have her double jointed knees, and we have her ankles on that rounded hinge. Let's zoom right in for the really interesting shot of her foot, or really Wonder Woman's foot, because this started off as a Wonder Woman foot. Up that far, down that far, and of course we have the toe articulation. Oh, and I forgot to spread her legs to show you exactly how far they would go out, and then I forgot to show you how far they will go forward. So that's how far they splay forward, and then back. Her buns get in the way, and there's not a ton of back motion. Oh, her wings too. Why don't we show her wings? Well, her wings are going to articulate up. I mean, really as far as you want, but that just looks stupid. So like as far as you're probably going to want to articulate the wings is here, and then all the way down, like perhaps like that. Anything further, maybe that's kind of pushing it. I would have liked to see some form of an ability for the wings to kind of rotate, but they can't the way they're attached. So that's it. That's pretty much what you're looking at for her wings. You can put them together, and that really is about it. Okay, so now that we've looked at pretty much everything to do with this figure fairly in-depthly. What do I think of her? What are my final impressions of this action figure? Do I think she's worth the pickup? Is she good or is she garbage? Is she fantastic or is she fatally flawed? Well, the simple answer is I know she has her flaws. Her shoulders are weird. Her ankles don't want to hold the body because she's back heavy. Even with all that said, I feel like if you're somebody who is a DC fan or a Hawkgirl fan or someone trying to build out your major characters or even just trying to put together a Justice League, you're going to have to pick up Hawkgirl because she's a major player in the league and has been for a long time. Kendra is absolutely worth the pickup as far as I'm concerned. So if you see her hanging on the peg, she's sitting on the shelf, I wouldn't leave her there, because if you don't pick her up, then you're going to go back for her later and find out that she's gone. You're going to be all sad and you're going to maybe cry a little bit and you're going to lose sight of everything that's important in life and lose your job and end up having to get a job that pays less than minimum wage in a shoe store, and you're going to take public transportation because you can't afford the car payments anymore, and you're going to get sick because you're on the virus tube, and then you're going to go to the hospital with the mono, and they're going to be like, we're sorry, sir, we have to remove your testicles. And so don't get your testicles removed. Just pick up Hawkgirl at the store when you see her and save yourself a world of trouble. Okay, bye.